important both for personal and professional growth. Research shows that your personality trait not only changes your outlook on life, but also changes the way you perceive reality at the work. For organizing webinar on personality development and employability, I especially thank to founder, principal, and chairman, Dr. J.C. Purswani ma'am, vice principal, Dr. Khushbu Purswani ma'am, vice principal, Dr. Santosh Karmani sir, HOD, Reena Mishra ma'am, and my colleagues. It's my great pleasure to introduce our today's speaker, Shailendra Mishra sir. Sir is assistant professor at a K.V. Pendarkar College. He has completed M.Com, MBA in Marketing Management, B.Ed and NET. Sir has a 7-year work experience in corporates as admin executive and customer service executives and having 11 years of teaching experience. Thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation and your valuable time and going to provide fruitful information to our students. I request you, sir, to take charge of the session. Over to you, sir.
Shall I share my screen, Amrita miss? Okay, actually I'm not able to hear you I mean, you're not audible at all. But anyways, I'll just start. Thank you for inviting me and thank you for giving me this opportunity to present myself. Now I would like to just start by sharing my screen. Just give me a moment. Okay, can you just confirm in chat box if if my screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Madam, please confirm if my screen is
Yes,
visible
sir.
to
Yes,
you.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, very good afternoon to everyone. Today in this session, we are going to discuss about the personality development and employability things. Okay, basically, I'm going to focus a lot on your employability. Okay, as you know that in this pandemic situation, most of the classes, most of the colleges, all those have gone like online. Okay, so most of the students, this is my personal experience that most of the students, they are not aware about the different qualities which they need to enhance, which they need to focus a lot. Okay, by which they can make themselves employable. Mostly in today's world, in today's competitive world, employers are looking for lots of qualities among their employees. I would say among their prospective employees. Okay, and some of them are like soft skills. Soft skills includes communication skills, problem solving skills, leadership skills, okay, negotiation skills, and all these things. Okay, so we need to focus a lot on all these skills, but basically today I'm not going to touch all these area in this session. Okay, here in this particular session, we are going to focus a lot only on the interview preparation. Okay, because interview is the first stage wherein you need to be very much clear and very much prepared while going for the interview. Okay, so students, let's see what are the different things we need to prepare in advance while going for the interview. What are the different points and key points we need to keep in while while the interview itself, the process is going on, and what are the things we need to keep on post interview. Okay, so before that, we need to understand what exactly is an interview. Just give me a moment. Actually, I'm facing some technical issues with my slides. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand what exactly is an interview. And rather than saying interview, I would say that job interview. Okay, so interview is nothing but it is face-to-face communication. Okay, earlier it used to happen physically, but nowadays it is happening online also. Yeah, it is already downloaded, Namrata madam, but due to some, uh, issues with the software, actually it is running on the Google Chrome. Okay, that's why you are seeing this kind of screen. So I hope it is okay. Is it okay if I go with this only? Okay, so we were learning about the interview. So interview is nothing but it is a face-to-face communication wherein within between two parties. One is employer and one is prospective employee. Employer is the one who is offering a job, and employee is the one who is looking for a job. Okay, so you know that students already. So while going for the job interview, actually you need to make sure that you are focusing on all these 4 points. That is first one, making an impression beyond your resume. Okay, before interview itself, as you have applied for the job, so you must have sent your resume to that company. In the interview, you need to make sure that whatever is written in the resume, you are not going to read the same thing. Okay, you're not going to state the same thing in the interview. Rather, you have to say something beyond your resume. You need to understand one more thing. Okay, okay. So Namrata madam is saying that I need to stop for 5 minutes. Okay, no issue. Okay, Namrata madam, shall I start? Can you just confirm in chat box?
Hello. Sir, am I audible? Sir, am I audible?
Madam, is it okay if I resume with my session?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, great. All right. So students, we were learning about the importance of job interviews. So we have got to know that actually when you are going for an interview, you need to say or you need to make your impression beyond your resume. You need to understand that interview is a two-way exchange of information. So you should not be sitting like an idle person and whatever the employer is asking or the interviewer is asking, you should not keep on answering those answers only. Rather, you should also try to ask some logical question to your interviewer. Selling opportunity by highlighting skill in interview, actually you are going to grab a job, grab an opportunity. Okay, so you need to show some of your great skills. You need to highlight some of your great skills which you have in your personality. Okay, and if you're following all these three steps, definitely you are going to be selected. Okay, so normally job interview is conducted only to select the suitable and proper candidate, appropriate candidate. Now let's see how to prepare for an interview. So while preparing for an interview, you need to keep in mind 5 W's. Okay, what are those 5 W's? That is what, who, why, when, and where. Let's try to understand what exactly all these 5 W's denotes. So the first one is the who. Okay, before going for the interview, you need to introspect yourself, that you need to do a self analysis of yourself. Like, you need to show that if they are going to ask about your family background, what kind of answer you are going to give. You need to always give the reference of the relevant experience only. For example, if you are going for a BPO job or KPO job, okay, so you have to give all the relevant experience of that kind of job only. Whatever the information you are providing to your interviewer, that needs to be very much authentic. You need to be very much careful. And very important thing is that your dress up needs to be very much accurate and appropriate. Okay. Normally what I see in today's time, teenagers, they are like not concerned about how they are looking, what kind of dress up they have to do for a particular occasion. Okay. So at the time of interview also, they always get confused what kind of dress up they have to do. Body language, that is very important part which you must have studied in your communication subject. Okay, it's a non-verbal communication, that is very much important. What kind of body posture, what kind of facial expression, what kind of hand movements and other you are using while appearing for the interview. At the same time, it may be possible that in today's world, because it is a digital world, okay, any interviewer can ask about your social media things, okay, like what kind of social media or social networking sites you are using. So you need to you need to be very much sure that whatever the social networking sites you are using, you need to post good things only. There should not be anything which is like inappropriate for your interview. Okay, so today onwards, you need to be very much careful that whatever you are posting on your social media, social networking sites, that should be good and suitable to your personality, your job, future job, okay, and your course, whatever you are doing. Because whatever you are doing today, that is going to really impact your future, right? So this is about who. Now, what you need to consider about what? Okay. So what includes your attitude? Okay, your attitude towards that company, your attitude towards that interview. Okay, you need to be always have a positive attitude, right? Second thing, you need to keep focusing on your communication. Okay, whatever the language you are speaking, you should have good command over that language. चाहे आप हिंदी में बात कर रहे हो, मराठी में बात कर रहे हो या इंग्लिश में बात कर रहे हो, आपकी एक अच्छी पकड़ होनी चाहिए उस पर्टिकुलर लैंग्वेज पे, उस पर्टिकुलर भाषा पे. Then only it will be treated as a good communication. Okay, personality type. Now everyone has a very different kind of personality. Some people are introvert, some people are extrovert, some people are like very much confident, some people are somehow nervous. So you need to have a very balanced personality. Okay, presentation. While presenting yourself, whatever the question is asked to you, you need to be very much sure that you are not going into hurry, right? You are presenting yourself in a very calm and cool way. Okay, whatever the information you are presenting, whatever the topics on which you are talking, okay, that needs to be very much clear. Some of the interviewer, they ask for your salary expectations. So some of the candidate, they do not get an idea what to say about that salary expectation. So it is very much suggestible that before going for the interview, you need to do some research on the salary for the job which you have applied for. Okay, you need to think, or you need to find out, you need to do a research that what is the salary offered for that particular position. So you'll be getting an idea how much salary needs, you can expect, or how much salary you can say that you are expecting from your employer. When it may be possible that if you are working right now, your interviewer can ask you, uh, how early can you join our company? So you need to be prepared in advance that how much period, how much time period would you require to join that company, to leave the existing company. That is called as simply notice period. Now some of the companies, they go for 2 months notice period. Some of the companies, they allow for 1 month notice period. Some of the companies, they even say that even 15 days advance notice you can give, and then you can leave the company. So you need to try to find it out what is the notice period in your existing company, where before going for the interview, it is suggestible that 1 or 2 days prior, you need to find out the exact location of that interview place. Okay, so nowadays actually it is very much easy because you have Google Map, you have some other application. So by using all those application, you can find out where exactly is your interview schedule. Okay, and if possible, I'm saying, just try to visit that location in advance itself. So on the day of interview, you will not be like panic. Okay, it will not be like very much hectic thing or difficult thing for you to reach out to that location. Always make sure that you are reaching to that location 60 minutes prior. Okay, some candidates have a very bad habit that they always want to reach on time, or 5 or 10 minutes late. That is a very bad habit. So try to get rid of these kind of habits. Try to reach 30 minutes, 60 minutes prior to that place. So if you are reaching in advance, before time, to that location, it will be very easy for you to get freshen up, okay, to get calm and cool. And now the last W is why. Your interviewer may ask you, what is the reason why you are changing your current job? So you should have a very good and firm reason with you, a very logical reason with you why you are changing your job. Never criticize your existing company at all. Okay, always give some proper and a very reasonable and logical reason that why you are changing your job. Mostly the very suitable reason can be good prosperous, good prospects, okay, for future growth and development. You just want to give a more scope to yourself, and that's why you want to change your job. Suitability for job, you need to they can ask you how suitable you are for this job. So you need to have a very good justification with you that how you are going to be a suitable candidate. You need to prove that for that particular job, right? Now the next slide that says 5 areas to prepare for an interview. What are the 5 areas by which you can prepare for an interview? Now these 5 areas are: the first one, making a resume, preparing a resume. So you need to make sure that your resume, your biodata, or your CV, that is actually all the three are same. A little bit difference is there, which I cannot right now tell. So if possible in next session or if any other session is there, we can discuss on the basic differences, which is very, tiny differences in all these three: biodata, resume, and CV. So right now you can just assume that resume and CV both are same. So you need to prepare a very effective CV or resume for yourself. Second thing, you need to focus on your dressing and grooming. Third thing, you need to make sure that you are using a very good etiquette. Okay, you have a very good manners. Fourth thing, you need to focus a lot on your body language. And the fifth one, that is not actually, that is also very important part, that is interview questions. You need to, anticipate the interview question, which is mostly asked in any kind of interview. And accordingly, you can prepare your answer. So now let's see all these 5 areas in detail, one by one. The first area, that is resume. Okay, that is CV. Okay, while preparing the CV, you need to make sure that all these key points are included in your resume. Or in other words, I can say that your resume should comprise all these keywords like your contact information, that is your name, your residential address, your email ID, your contact number, objectives, okay, what you want to achieve in your life, okay, at what position you are looking yourself. So you need to mention your objective also in your resume. Key skill areas, what are your key skill areas in which you are an expert, that also you need to mention. Education, okay, from 10th to whatever is your highest educational qualification, you need to mention all those things in your resume. Experience, if you have any, make sure that you are describing that experience in your resume. Awards, if you have achieved any in your life, that also needs to be mentioned. What are the different activities you have performed? If it is like very unique activity which you want to make sure that your employer needs to know, so that also you can include in your resume. References, you need to provide 2 to 3 references, I mean 2 to 3 people's name and number, okay, who are your trustworthy people and who have a good position, okay, good status in this society, so that in case if company has any doubt, they can ask on these reference numbers, okay, and they can get a good testimonials of yours by these people. So you need to make sure those the references which you are providing, you have informed those people in advance, okay, that you are providing those people's references, so they may get a call from the company regarding your inquiry and all. The second thing is dressing and grooming. This is a very important part while going for interview. Dressing and grooming, okay. One needs to be very much careful while at the time of selection of the attires, dressings, and grooming and all. Let's see what are the different things you need to keep in mind. What to wear for a job interview. So when you are dressing for a job interview, the image you present is really important. Your image is what makes the first impression on the interviewer. And you must have heard about that idioms of English, that first impression is the last impression. Okay, so you need to keep that in your mind. And you need to stick with your first impression. So for that, actually, you should wear good, attire. You should have good attire regardless of the type of job. Some of the jobs actually they need a very specific kind of attire, dressings, okay, like blazers, tie and all. But then other common jobs also, they require a very formal attire. Okay, so let's see some of the attires, dressing and grooming. So here you can find out in this picture. Okay, now this is for a very specific job, an executive kind of job. So they require a very formal attire, which comprises of blazer, tie, trousers, and for females also you can just see the blazer, skirt. Some of the precautionary points are given here. You need to make sure that your hair is groomed neatly. You have a very simple tie. It is not very shiny and very, funky kind of tie. Long sleeved pressed shirt, 2 or 3 piece suit. Again and again, I'm telling you, this is for some specific jobs only. And matching dress, socks, dark shoes. Yes, this is very important. You need to make sure that your shoes should be always dark. Okay, that means either possibly and preferably you should go for black shoes only. Okay, but in rarest case, if it is not possible, make sure that you are not using very light color of shoes. Okay, and there should be matching socks also. If possible, make sure that your belt, okay, and your shoes, they should be of same color. For girls, I would always suggest that there should be a very neat hairstyle. Okay. On the day of interview, you should not go for a very different hairstyle, because suddenly, if you are going for your hairstyle change, you will be feeling always awkward throughout the interview. So it is always suggestible, whatever the style you are opting since long back, just go with that same style, but in a very neat way. Pressed collar shirt, pants or knee length skirt, nylon or dress socks. Again, I'm telling you, this is specifically designed only for some specific jobs. Low, medium, close to heel. Now let's see some of the simple jobs dresses. Okay, girls can wear such kind of dresses also. This is also known as formal only. Okay, this is actually called as business casual. So in general words, in layman language, we can say that it is also treated as formal dressing. So that is natural looking makeup, little or no bulky jewelry, nice salwar kameez, which is a good formal attire for Indian ladies. Portfolio, you should have good portfolio with you. This is for business professionals, as we have already seen. Again, this is for business professionals, for men, and this is for business casuals. Okay, normally if your job doesn't require that kind of blazer and all, so at least you can wear this formal attire. Fresh haircut, clean shaven. Now, actually, there is a fashion of bearded look. That is okay, but make sure that then your beard is properly trimmed. Okay, and it should not look bad at all. Button up your shirts, appropriate tie, matching belt and shoes, as I had already informed you. Pressed dark trousers, portfolio, polished shoes. You need to make sure that try to use very contrast upper and lower attire. Okay, they should not be matching, because if they are matching, that may not be looking appropriate. So always make sure that they should be going in contrast. When to get for a job interview, that I have already informed you. You need to make sure that you are reaching 60 minutes before itself. 60 minutes before scheduled time of the interview. So it will be very easy for you. You'll be getting extra time to use washrooms, to get freshen up. You'll be getting calm and cool. You can do some inquiry also on the reception, like who all are sitting in the interviews, okay, and many other questions which you have like doubt in your mind. The third area in the 5 areas to prepare for an interview is etiquettes. Okay, you need to follow good etiquettes. Let's see what are the different etiquettes we can focus over here. Regarding etiquettes, somebody has said, like John Wolfgang has said, a man's manners are a mirror in which he shows his portrait. So your manner shows what kind of personality you have, what kind of educational background and family background you have. That will be shown by your manners only. Etiquettes, the 5 basics of interview etiquettes. Don't waste anyone's time. Okay, that means if you don't know any answer, do not stick with that. Simply say, honestly say that I'm so sorry, sir. Right now, I'm not able to recall this answer. Okay, I'm a little bit confused. Arrive on time, never get late. If you are reaching late, that creates a bad impression. That shows you don't have any etiquette. You're not serious about your job interview. No cell phone. Okay, now it is actually not possible that you should not carry your cell phone. Yes, you can carry your cell phone, but make sure either you have switched it off or you have kept it on silent. And doesn't matter how important call you are receiving, never pick up any call while interview, right? So that's why it is called as no cell phone. Look professional. Okay, before moving out from your home or house, just look into the mirror whether you are looking professional or not. Make sure that you are looking very much professional. Be gracious. Always, whatever you are getting at the place of interview, be always grateful for that, be always thankful for that. If anyone is asking for tea, water, or some other beverages, always say thank you so much. Either you can say yes or no. Okay, if anyone is offering you chair for sitting purpose, you can simply say thank you. So that means always you have to show your gratitude to the people in front of you. The fourth area which you need to focus while going for interview is body language. Okay. Now body language, what does it say? Let's see. What you say is 7%. Okay. How you sound, that contributes 38% in your communication, and your overall body language, that contributes 55%. Okay. So whatever I'm saying, how am I sounding? Okay, actually, most of the time, people do not focus on those things. But how your body posture, okay, how your hand movements are, like how your facial expression is changing, how your eyes are moving, you are raising your eyebrows on some questions, you are smiling on some questions, okay, you are being very polite on some questions, okay, your sitting style, okay, your keeping hands on table, or you are just folding your hands, or you are keeping your hands on your thighs. All these things actually are really concentrated and focused by the interviewer. So you need to make sure that from every part of your body you are like showing positivity and good attitude only. And the last one is, that is 5 areas to prepare an interview, is interview questions. Okay, some of the common interview questions are here, like okay, like some warm-up questions are always asked, doesn't matter what kind of interview you are going for. Okay, like the first question can be, that is actually always called as warm-up question. Tell me something about yourself. So you need to be always well prepared with this answer. Tell me something about yourself. I would suggest never by heart this answer. Okay, never wrote out this answer. But yes, you need to make sure that you have prepared this answer in advance. Okay. So when you have been asked this question, you need to give in a very easy way this answer. Now, the second thing they can ask, why do you want to leave your job? Okay. And then what is your salary expectation? These are some common questions asked in any kind of interview. So you need to anticipate these questions and make sure that you are well prepared with all these questions in advance. Okay, so let's see some mock interview kind of thing. Like, I'm your interviewer and I'm going to ask you some questions of interview. Okay, like, tell me about yourself. This is the most asked question. As I had told you that it is a warm-up question. This is also known as icebreaker. Okay, so here in this question's answer, you should not give your whole life story. Try to wrap up within 2 to 3 lines. Okay, like your name, where do you reside, your educational qualification, something about your career, something about your career, current situation, and a possible, like, one line or half a line about your family background. Okay, but never keep on speaking. Some people, they have a very bad habit. They try to speak up and they wait that interviewer is going to stop them. That is very wrong attitude. Okay, whenever interviewer is asking, try to wrap up your question within 3 to 4 lines, like within a minute or um, 1.5 minute, okay, or 2 minutes maximum. Okay, and then wait for the next question. Next, very common question can be asked, what do you know about this organization? Yes, this is also a very common question. Most of the interviewer, they always ask you that, do you have any idea about our organization? Because you have applied over here, no? So earlier, like in 80s or 90s, it used to be very much difficult question, but nowadays actually you can find out the answer in advance itself. Before moving away or moving out with the interview, moving ahead with the interview, in advance itself on Google, you can search about that organization. Okay, some of the details you can acquire in advance itself, like what is the mission, what is the vision of that company, what is the core business of that company. Okay, who all are the target customers of that company, who all are the different main players in that industry wherein this organization is dealing. Okay, what are the different CSR activities, that is corporate social responsibilities, have been fulfilled by this company, this organization. So if you are preparing this in an advance, it will be easy for you to give the details, and your interviewer also will get impressed that, oh, candidate has he has already researched about my company well in advance, so he knows much thing about my company. The third question can be like, why are you looking for another job? Okay, this is also a very common question. Why did you leave your previous job? It can be like, some tweaks will be there in the question. It's not like that these questions will be asked in the same way which I'm showing you. The purpose of the question will be same. Okay, the context of the question will be same. Only the way of asking the question will be changed or maybe changed. So do not mention for money you are changing your job. Okay, always say that you are looking for a great career, you are looking for a greater scope, development, growth, like self development, self growth. Always stay positive. Do not talk about the drama, like you are very good, you are very innocent and honest, but those people, they were not understanding you, that's why they have fired you. Do not criticize your earlier company. Okay, and always keep it brief. Okay, small, sweet, and brief. Next question can be, why do you want this job? Okay, that question also, actually sometimes it doesn't make a sense. Okay, everyone knows that you are looking for a job, you want to earn money, you are looking for good prospects, so that's why you are looking for that job. But then too, interviewer asks this question, they want to know your, way of thinking. So, like, I want to be a part of a company which is a market leader. But before that, actually, you need to search out whether that company is really a market leader or not. So otherwise, you can say that I want to be a part of a company which is very famous, which is very, popular in its industry. Then innovator, it provides vital services. It provides enough challenges to apply my skills. There is a great scope to uh, to enhance my skill or to apply my skills. So these kind of answers you can give against this question. This is also a very common question. What is your greatest strength? Okay. So as I had told you in the starting of the slide, that before a day or two of the interview, you need to introspect yourself. Rather, I would say that keep on analyzing yourself. Okay. And always try to find out what are your positive points, what are your, strength. And at the same time, you always need to find out what are your negative points or what are your weaknesses. Okay. So your strength can be like you are a good motivator, you are a problem solver, you are ready to perform under pressure, you are very loyal, you have always a positive attitude, you are always eager to learn the things, right? But one thing, make sure that whatever the strength you are saying, they can ask you that give an example that you are a good motivator. So you should be ready with an example also, which can justify your strength, right? All right, we'll move to the next segment, that is what is your biggest weaknesses or weakness. Okay, so normally here people stuck, they do not get what to say. If they are saying the real weakness honestly, they may not get the opportunity to join that company. So, but even you cannot say that I don't have any weakness. So you have to say some points which is actually not a weak point of yours. Okay, but then like I'm a very, I trust on people very easily. Okay, then I believe on God. I believe on this universal power, that what the karma I am doing, I'll be getting the same result, or same fruit of my karma. So by this way, you can just be somehow diplomatic while giving the answer for your biggest weakness. Our next question can be like, how do you handle stressful situations and working under pressure? So you need to again be very diplomatic, okay? Because whatever the answer you are giving over there, they can ask from you some examples. Like, I do not panic, I instead take a pause, I consider alternate solutions, I don't hesitate to ask for assistance or help from my seniors, from my colleagues, from my subordinates, and all. Okay, so they can, when they are asking for any example or any illustration, they should be ready with that illustration. Next question can be, what are you like working in team? Okay, whether you like to work in team, okay, are you a good team member, can you become a good team member? So you should say that yes, in my college days we used to organize a lot of programs, so I have worked in team, I know what are the pros and cons of the team, working in team. Okay, I know how to value others opinion, others ideas. Okay, I have some leadership, I have played some leadership role, I know how to coordinate with others, I'm very cooperative, I always try to solve the problem first of all from at my level, but if, in case if it is not, if I'm not able to solve that problem, then I escalate that problem to my seniors. By this way, you can give some examples that you can become a very good team member. Some other questions like, tell me about a suggestion that you have made that has been successfully implemented in your previous company. So if you have given any suggestion, you can give. Otherwise, simply you can say, sorry, sir, until now, I haven't got such an opportunity that I could give my company, some suggestions and which have been like implemented. Okay. Otherwise, you can give some examples from these texts, what I have given on your screen. Just have a look. Okay, some other questions like, have you ever had to bend the rules in order to achieve a goal? Okay, that means, have you ever broken any rule to achieve your goals? So again, you have to be very much diplomatic. You should not say that actually you have, broken away some rules. You did not follow some rules. Otherwise, they would think that you actually are not serious about the rules and regulation of the organization. But then you have to say that for achievement of my objective, actually, or for the betterment of my customer, actually I had to go with that way. Okay, so one of the way you can just, one of the instance you can just explain, in which actually you are not breaking the rules 100%. Okay, but somehow you are keeping aside that rule, but then it was overall beneficial for the company. So that kind of example you can give. Like when I was working in a corporate, okay, I would not tell the name, but there a customer asked me, to block his debit card. Okay, actually I had to ask all his information, but one of the information was not matching, but customer was very panicked. So even though it was not matching, I mean, I couldn't have done that blocking of debit card, but then too I blocked the debit card by thinking that if I'm not blocking this, he may get, he may get into trouble, a lot of trouble. And then I informed that to my team leader, and then team leader informed to my manager. My manager said, okay, no issue at all. In these kind of situation, actually we can go with this. Okay, because at last customer is the main part of the company. Customer is more important, not the rules and regulation. Then some of the companies, they can ask you, are you willing to travel or relocate if necessary? Be sure that if you really are ready to travel or get relocated, then only say yes, otherwise say no. Clearly say no. Okay. Why should we hire you? Again, this is a very tricky question. Why should we hire you? So you need to highlight some of your skills, some of your good qualities, that you can become a very fruitful person for them. Okay, you can contribute in their goodwill enhancement or development of that company. Okay, so you can say some answers like this. This is a very important question. What is your salary expectation? So some of the very ideal answers I have already provided over here. Remember that knowledge is power, so try asking them the range. You can ask, sir, before moving ahead with my salary expectation, I would ask you, what is your salary range for this particular position? So in case if they are saying 40,000 to 50,000, so between that 40,000 to 50,000, you can quote your salary expectation, right? Okay. And you need to always, that I have informed you in starting itself, that be aware about the industry standards. You need to do the research, okay, for this particular position and this particular area. What is the salary offered by other companies? Okay, so it will be very easy for you to give your salary expectation. Do you have any question for us? Now here, some of the interviewees, they always get stuck. They say, no, I don't have any question. That is a very wrong attitude. You need to ask one or two questions. Okay. Simply you can ask, sir, may I know what would be my job profile? Okay. So can you just let me know what will be my contribution in the company's progress? What will be like my value or position? But do not say value or position. You can just articulate your sentence. How do you want my contribution to the company progress. So by asking these 2 or 3 questions, at least you can show that this is a two-way communication. You remember the first slide which I had shown you, two-way communication. Okay. Now, what to bring to a job interview? What are the different things you need to carry for the job interview? First one, 3 to 4 copies of your resume. Okay. Original certificates with Xerox copies of the certificates. Make sure that you should have 3 to 4 sets of the copies of the originals with you, because in case if they are asking one of the copy to keep with them, you can just submit at that moment itself. Okay. What shouldn't you bring inside of the interview? Okay. So do not walk inside of the cabin with your coffee cup, with your water bottle. Do not chew some chewing gum and all that things. Do not keep your cell phone on the general mode. Rather turn it off, or just keep it on the silent mode. How to greet the interviewer? When you arrive at a job interview, introduce yourself to the receptionist. Okay. Then when your receptionist is saying that yes, it's your turn, go into the cabin, so while entering the cabin, first of all, ask for the permission, wait for the welcome by that interviewer. When the interviewer is saying sit down or have a seat, say thanks, and then before sitting on the chair, you can shake your hand in a very firm way with your interviewer. Or if you're not shaking your hand at that moment, at least at the time of moving out, you shake your hand in a very firm way. Okay. And simply you can say with a smile on your face that nice to meet you. Okay. It was a very good experience of yours. Responding to interview questions. Whenever questions are asked on you, sometimes they do bombarding. Okay. So you need to make sure that whenever they are asking you a question, you need to listen that question very carefully. In case if you didn't listen that question by chance, okay, you can ask you can ask that interviewer to repeat that question in a very polite way. Okay. So pardon, please. Okay. I beg your pardon. Okay. By this way, you can very politely ask to repeat that question. And once you are sure that you understood the question, then only give your answer. Without understanding the answer, do not give your, without understanding the question, do not give your answer at all. What to give the interviewer? If your interviewer is asking for extra copy of resume, extra copy of your original mark sheets, Xerox copies, if he is asking for the references, you can provide all those things. Closing the interview. Towards the end of the interview, let the hiring manager know that you think the job is an excellent. So from your facial expression only, you have to show that you are really finding that job excellent and you are really very much keen to join that job. Okay. Now, after the interview, actually, you should not sit idly. After 2 to 3 days or in the interview itself, you can ask, so can I take follow-up? After how many days can I take follow-up? So you can take follow-up either by using email or by calling on that reception numbers. Some interview day hacks you need to follow. 3 P's of the interview. You need to behave in a very professional way. Okay. So you can just find out these attire. This is not at all professional. Okay. These footwears, left side, that is not professional. Right side, that is very much professional. Okay. And these kind of, dressing sense. Okay. Reaching quite early as a professional. Okay. That I have already informed you. Make yourself comfortable by reaching in advance to that location. Always be polite. Whatever you are asking, make sure that you are not sounding rude at all. Okay. Do not be extrovert. Do not be too much jolly. Do not be too much, do not behave in a too much friendly way. Okay. But always have a small smile, tiny smile on your face. And the third one is performance. Okay. Make sure that you are performing very well while shaking your hand, while asking for the permission, while pulling out the chair, while pushing out the chair, while moving out from the cabin. Okay. You should perform very well. So here we are done with our session. I hope you like this session, and thank you so much for bearing me, and all the best for your future. Thank you so much. Namrata madam, I'm done.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for informative session. Thank you, sir, for informative session. And definitely, sir, our students are going to follow all these tips in the future. I take immense pleasure to extending my sincere thanks to honorable guest speaker, Shailendra Mishra, sir, for taking informative session. I thank to founder principal and chairman, Dr. J.C. Purswani, ma'am, Dr. J.C. Purswani, sir, vice principal, Dr. Khushbu Purswani, ma'am, vice principal, Dr. Santosh Karmani, sir, HOD, Reena Mishra, ma'am, my colleagues, students, technical staff, and non-teaching staff for their support. Thank you. Take care.